Hi, welcome to Julius Bar. Today we are gonna have our nerdiest episode yet. We are gonna have a lesson in biochemistry. We're gonna talk about sugars. More specifically, today we're gonna talk about liquid sugars. There is a whole bunch, different kinds, but do they make any real difference? Let's find out. Starting from here, I have a simple sugar, which is made of 1 part water and 1 part normal white granulated sugar. You just warm them up and you put them in a bottle once the sugar is melted. It's one of the most simple ingredient and one of the most common ingredients in any cocktail. Here I have the same simple syrup but made with some Okinawa Cocteau sugar. It's a brown sugar, probably similar to Demerara, and so it has this more caramel-like quality. Here is some agave syrup. This is what I use most of the time actually, because I just squeeze it like that. One squeeze and usually equals to 15 milliliters of simple syrup, and it's really practical, it tastes great, and I use this over time. Then we have cane sugar. So this is expensive sugar that comes from France or some department of France overseas, I would think, in the Caribbean. So this is made from sugar cane. Then we have gum syrup, which is really popular in Japan, and I think it's just water, sugar, and some gum stuff that makes it smoother, easier to melt in cold drinks. Really common here in Japan. And then for a slight twist, we have Luxardo Maraschino, which is actually a liqueur, and it has 32% ABV. It's also really sweet. Of course, this is gonna really change the cocktail we're going to make, but it's often used as a substitute for sugar. So let's give it a go. As a sample drink today, I'm gonna make a kind of gimlet. Gimlet is a really simple, delicious cocktail. It's made of 15 milliliters usually of simple syrup, 50 milliliters of freshly squeezed lime juice, and 60 milliliters of dry gin. In this case, as a dry gin, I'm gonna choose this Le Gin de Christian Drouin. It's a French gin. It's delicious, it's dry, but it's made by this guy in France, which is a Calvados producer. Calvados is a liqueur made from apples, and so it has a slightly tangy back taste of green apples, which I think matches perfectly with any drink I make that include lemon or lime juice. And that's it. Usually the gimlet is not presented like this. In these glasses, it's a shaken cocktail that goes in a cocktail glass. Today, well, I'm gonna build it inside this Glencairn, which are tasting glasses, to be as scientifically accurate as possible. So let's start by squeezing some lime juice. I'm gonna make in each of these glasses the equivalent of a third of a normal gimlet. So if a normal gimlet needs 15 milliliter of lime juice, I'm gonna need 30. And so it's gonna be 5 milliliters of juice per glass. Maximum effort.
Maximum effort.
Okay, then we're gonna add 20 milliliters of gin. And now we are gonna add the sugars. So even for the sugar, it's gonna be 15 milliliters, except for the double sugars, which are gonna be this, and I will consider even the maraschino. For these three, I'm gonna do half the amount because they are more concentrated. So let's keep this in order. We don't make any mistakes. I see some different color-wise already. I would say this is completely transparent. This, of course, has a caramel color. This has a bit of a yellow color too. While these are neutrals, except the maraschino gives a slight, am I imagining it, or it has a slight pinkish tint? Anyway, now for the ice. I'm gonna add 1 cube of ice to each glass and then wait for 5 minutes so that the dilution of each glass should be about the same, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna wait exactly 5 minutes and then we are gonna try them out. Okay. So now I'm gonna remove the ice. I'm gonna give it a bit of a stir. And let's get to tasting.
Hi, it's Julia from the future, and not just Skynet is taking over, but I wasted like 10 minutes of my time like trying out sugar that tasted exactly the same as each other. So I'm just gonna save you time and skip like to the part where I find out that actually the gun syrup tastes like shit. Okay, get safe!
Gum syrup, which actually would be the cheapest commercial syrup I can get here in Japan. Yeah, this one is different. Tastes like, smells like vanilla. And tastes like vanilla. I don't know what I put in. I think they just put in vanilla. Weird. Okay, so far this is the only not acceptable choice. Actually, if you want vanilla flavor, it's perfect, but it doesn't match at all. Let's try with maraschino. Oh, this is kind of a cheat. It's not really a sugar bar. This is good, but it doesn't match the gimlet. Not suggested in this version of the gimlet. There are other lemon drinks where the maraschino excels, but not in this particular case. So I'm gonna go over one last time to see if we can taste anything. I think the simple syrup, I use the same amount, okay? This one is the one that, because it's straight sugar without any other component, in the end is more sweet. You follow me? All these other sugars have something else, some other flavor component beside the simple sugar, the molecule of the sugar. The granulated white standard sugar, it's only sugar. So in the end, using the same amount, this results in a slight added sweetness. This is fine. The agave. Now, slightly more honey-like. Maybe I'm just projecting though, because I know it tastes a bit more like honey. I don't know if it's really, if I'm just imagining it. And let's try the can. Maybe the drinks are getting warmer and I start to discern a bit more differences. Yeah, it is still like, it might need a bit more sugar. It's not a real double sugar, this one. It's somewhere in between a simple syrup and a double. So, maraschino, one more time. And then final recap. Okay, maraschino is maraschino, it's different. It was a fun experiment, but doesn't match the drink. Maraschino smell is a bit pronounced. Maraschino by itself is good, and it's good in other cocktail, but not in this case. This one I'm not gonna even try again. It's weird. These four, simple syrup, cheapest thing you can find. You can make it yourself. Simple, sugary, and it gives you satisfaction of that sugar boost. This brown sugar is gonna change the color of your drink. If that's what you want, you might go for this one. And the taste slightly less sugary. Agave, a bit more honey-like, slightly, again, not big difference. While the cane syrup seems a bit like more smooth, for a better word. Yeah, really close to the simple syrup, but without that direct, oh, I'm here to boost up your sugar levels kind of feeling. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this test, really nerdy stuff. Either one of those four options will be just fine for you. This is the most expensive. This is not cheap, but because you use a lesser amount, and it's really practical because you just squeeze it. Might still be and remain my favorite way to add sugar to my drinks. And these two, if I have time to make them, I'm gonna make them because they are practical and useful. And the normal simple syrup, it's like when you measure stuff, or most of the recipe will come with an indication of how much simple syrup exactly. So if you don't know your way around, you don't like to eyeball things, just make yourself a simple syrup. You're gonna be fine. Don't use any fancy expensive sugar. It's not needed. And that's it. Liquid sugars. We drank the shit of them. We tried all of them, and please smash that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. And I have to say, cheers.